This video is a follow-up from the previous video covering degoogling an Android and configuring for apps that support radio communications. However, if you haven't gone through that process and simply want to use another regular Android smart device, you can still install these apps and use it to control your UV Pro radio. For example, instead of using the AmRRON Play Store, you can just use your regular Google Play Store to download some of these apps, such as the UVProgrammer app. Some of the apps you'll go directly to the source using the links in the UV Pro Setup Guide, the PDF. I'll also be providing links in the description of this video below, as well as in the posting for this video on AmRRON.com. Keep in mind, if you're not using the 2024 degoogled Moto G smartphone like what was covered in the previous video, some of your features, pop-ups, navigation arrows, etc. will probably be slightly different or located in different places throughout the setup process. You'll have to navigate through some of the settings that are unique to the Android device that you're using. This video is intended to walk you through the installation and setup process for connecting your Android to your BTECH UV Pro radio using your Bluetooth. This will allow you to use your Android for almost all of the functions and applications when communicating through this radio. For most functions, once you turn your radio on and connect it through Bluetooth, you'll use your Android device and won't even need to touch your radio. The radio ends up being a piece of equipment in the middle that sends out and receives the actual radio signals, then simultaneously goes to and from your Android device over Bluetooth. If you're joining us in the middle of this journey, we invite you to check out the videos introducing the BTECH UV Pro and why we chose it as the official AmRRON radio for emergency response deployments. That will get you caught up really quickly. If you haven't purchased a UV Pro yet, be sure to use the link in the description below and save yourself 10% if you use the coupon code AmRRON. VGC makes the exact same radio, the VGC N76, including the same software, firmware, and it uses and works with the BTECH UVProgrammer app. Personally, I'll stick with BTECH for the handhelds, but VGC also makes a mobile version with 50 watts of transmitting power. The best part is that they can also be connected to the same UVProgrammer app that you're going to install today and contain the same software and firmware controlled with the Android device. The latest model, the N7600, also has a screen in the hand mic, which looks very similar to the screen on the handheld versions. I'm leaning strongly toward getting one of these to mount in the vehicle, maybe one for the shack eventually. We'll see. With all of that out of the way, let's begin getting you set up. If you don't already have it, download the AmRRON BTECH UV Pro Basic User's Guide PDF. It's available in the video description of the degoogled smartphone video and this video, and pretty much on every other UV Pro related posting and video that we've done. Then put a copy of this PDF guide on the same Android device you'll be using the UVProgrammer app. For transferring files to all of your devices, I use LocalSend and absolutely love it. It's free. I have it on Windows, Linux, and Android, and it can send and receive files between all of them. It's total cross-platform, including Apple. Any device you have connected through your local network, your internet router, can share files with each other. Super handy. And next, just make sure you have your radio, your Android device, and the setup guide ready. Let's do this. Now, we want to go to the AmRRON BTECH UV Pro Basic User's Guide. This is the setup guide. Now, I'm going to take you straight to setting up the apps, but that's for this video. Before you get to that on your own, please take the time to read through this document so you understand the whats and the whys and the purpose of this, the goals that we're trying to achieve through this project. So once you have an understanding of that, then go down to first steps in section 2. So let's get to the BTECH UVProgrammer Android app. I strongly recommend that you put a copy of this PDF on your Android device that you are using to set up so that you'll be able to use the active hyperlinks. So going down to section 2. Okay, something I learned in the setup guide. If you click on a link such as the Google Play Store, it will take you directly to the Google's Play Store, and then it will prompt you to log in. So there's a workaround for this so that you can use the AmRRON store and get any of the apps when you click on a Google Play Store link, such as what is in the setup guide. So what you want to do is go to your apps, find the AmRRON store, press and hold, hit App Info, scroll down to Open by default. Make sure that the Open Supported Links slider is turned on, and in this case it is. Add a link. Play.google.com and market.android.com, and then click Add. Okay, now we can close that. Let's go back to the guide. Section 2, first steps. Click on the BTECH UVProgrammer link because that's the very first thing that you need to be able to pair with your UV Pro. This will take you straight to it using AmRRON, just like I just previously covered. So we're going to the Google Play Store, bypassing that by using AmRRON. So tap Install. And again, tap Install. Before we open it, we're going to download the other apps. So let's go back to the guide. And the next one will be the Android NA7Q fork. That is a forked version. A separate developer has taken the open source code of APRS Droid and added some features to it. This is the one that we recommend because it has offline mapping and other features that we're going to cover. So tap the link for na7n.com. Once you're there, scroll down, tap on Download APRS Droid APK. Tap Download. And we won't worry about opening it right now, so you can let that just time out and close. The next one is WOAD. This is WinLink for Android. So let's backspace there. There we go, back to our setup guide. Tap on the link, the WOAD download link, and scroll down until you find, click here to download the latest version of WOAD 1.5.18 as of this date. It takes a few seconds, so I'll speed things up. Zoom in. Tap Download Anyway. Google's going to throw a fit because they're not involved here. This again will take several seconds. It takes quite a while, so just be patient after you tap it. Once it's highlighted in gray, you know that it's accepted your tap. Download. Download completed. Okay, we'll navigate using the left arrow down there at the very bottom. Again. Now we're back to the guide. So let's go to Initial Setup. Connecting to the UV Pro app. That's the black icon with the small radio in it that says BTECH UV. At this time, the official BTECH UV Pro app is required in order to access certain features and allows for loading and editing channels much quicker than from the front panel. Additionally, firmware updates are only available from the BTECH app. After downloading and installing the app on your device, the initial pairing of the radio to your phone should be accomplished within the app. Ensure Bluetooth is enabled on your device. Open the app on your device. You'll need to grant the app permission on the first launch. Tap the app. Give it permission. While using the app, allow. Send you notifications, allow. Click OK. Access device's location while using the app. Intercom audio, OK. Make and manage calls, allow. Next, turn on the radio and press the green button for menu. Scroll down to pairing and press the green button. You'll see a red and green light flashing at the top. That means it is trying to pair. Look at your phone. Detected a new device. Click yes. Pairing request. Pair and connect. Connection failed. This is very common, by the way. Make sure the device is in pairing mode. Now, of course, it's since timed out. So we'll turn the radio off and back on. That usually solves the problem. Okay, select menu. Scroll down to pairing. Tap the green button so that the checkbox is checked. Then tap retry. Pair and connect. Click pair or tap pair. The device firmware needs to be updated. When it asks synchronize signaling settings, select no. The device firmware needs to be updated. Do you want to start updating now? Yes, you do. Click OK. Click download. Click start. This takes about 4 minutes, so we'll come back. Please actually read the info screens about the firmware. An early firmware upgrade required special button presses after reboot to get the screen visible. These instructions were clearly posted during the update process, yet many of us neglected to pay attention. If you skipped the firmware update and want to check if one is available, you can do so from the settings. Go to firmware version section of the app while connected to your radio. Now we'll go to section 3, radio panel. While most every setting can be controlled and easily set from the app, the below will discuss recommended settings by using the radio panel to ensure you're familiar with their locations. Unless a setting is mentioned, leave it at default. For our uses, we will not be entering call signs into the radio. The associated apps will handle the call signs required for these various modes. In the below, anything green is a change from factory default. Not all settings are listed, just the ones we care about for our use. Okay, we're going to follow the settings in the guide, and that starts with pressing the green button for menu. What I'm using is these up and down arrows, and then the green button, and of course the red button to exit. So the first setting is going to be your radio settings. Click OK. Leave all of these default except for the following. Tail elimination. The green button deselects it. Digital mute enabled. Push to talk follow off. Audio relay off. And enable Vox off. VFO step. Oh, your Vox level 1. Your VFO step, 25 kilohertz. So that is good to go. Press the red return button. Next, go down to General Settings. Click OK. Go down to KISS TNC. Click OK. Enable. Go back or return. Digital mode. Enable. Share location. Off. Select. Digital mode channel. 29. Now hit return. Optionally, you could leave the digital mode, digital channel just on current until you get frequencies programmed in there. But that is where you would program the frequency is channel 29. Channel 30 would be where you would put your APRS national calling frequency. Okay, this is what your main screen should look like once you're connected to the radio. Your connected radio name, which you can change, it's default UV Pro. Here you have your regions or channel banks. Here's your FM radio. You can just type in, let's see, 88.7. There we go. Your radio settings are this little sprocket icon. And to the right of that, right here, this is how you would disconnect from the radio. You're disconnected. You connect again by just tapping. When you're connected, you'll see a small icon representing a smartphone at the top on the screen on your radio. See that just to the right of the letter H, indicating high power. If we disconnect from the app, any app, that goes away. Once you connect to an app via Bluetooth, any app, any of these radio apps, it will display a small cell phone icon. You disconnect and it goes away. This is one of the biggest frustrations that we have experienced ourselves and see with others who can't connect an app. It will not connect. It refuses because actually you haven't closed out of a previous app that you were connected to the radio with, and it's something's hung up. So just sometimes disconnecting an app from the radio might not be sufficient. You may have to actually disconnect the app and then close out that app altogether and then try to reconnect a different app. For example, if you go from the UVProgrammer app to APRS Droid, you want to make sure you completely close out of one app before closing the other. All right, let's reconnect. Now these channels that you see listed here on the phone, those are just default radio programs. You can long press any one of those squares, which is a channel, to select the edit channel, and that's where you would add your frequencies and your offsets. Now that we're familiar with basic controls, set channels 26 through 30 as follows for the SOI AmRRON digital channels. And I'll demonstrate with channel 30, which is the nationwide calling frequency for APRS. Press and hold, edit the channel, APRS, frequency 144,390, 144,390. Click OK, and it will add in the rest of the zeros. Transmit power, high. And tap Save in the upper right-hand corner. And now you see it listed down here. If you tap on it, it will change on your radio. So once again, once you're connected with the app and you have everything programmed, you turn your radio on, you connect to the app that you want to use, and you don't have to touch your radio again. Everything else is done off your cell phone. All of your texting, messaging, emailing, location settings, everything is done. The very simple swiping and tapping with the device that we're used to using every day. So there it is, programmed in. And if you want to transmit on that frequency, you simply tap that channel and it changes the frequency on the radio. And that's as far as we're going to cover in this video. Upcoming videos will cover some of the other features and radio apps, where we'll walk through the installation and setup of those, such as APRS Droid, WOAD, AND-FL Message, and more. Once we get the basic configurations behind us, we'll get into the practical application of these tools and some of the settings and considerations specific to supporting AmRRON operations. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you want to help support the channel so we can continue putting out content and some even better content in the future, consider buying me a cup of coffee. Any amount is appreciated and it really helps. In the meantime, stay vigilant and get your comms up. This is JJS, out.